We may be an hour and 13 minutes late, but we still have Sheboygan A's baseball on this Wednesday evening. From Wildwood Park, the Sheboygan A's are playing the Appleton Legends for the second time this year. The first time these two met up, it was a 7-4 victory for Sheboygan behind 3 home runs by John Hadley, Jacob Neese, and also Braden Horn. It was a game that was never really in hand. It felt like the A's were always up by 5 or 6. It got a little closer toward the end, but they ended up coming out with the win.
Yeah, it was a 4-run 8th inning, closed the gap, and then we were able to shut them down in the 9th for, like you said, a 7-4 win.
Sheboygan is the top in the Newble right now. It's standing at 6-2. They got that top spot because this Appleton team walked off Green Bay last night 2-1. So Sheboygan sits at 6-2 while Green Bay's 5-2 in second place. Appleton comes in third at 6-3 overall. Marty, you want to take us through the lineup for the Appleton Legends?
Off, he's their second baseman. Batting second is Alex Hanneman in center. Batting third, Nick Terrell, the shortstop. Batting fourth, Peyton Just. Just is playing right field. Batting fifth, Reed Hitpiss, their third baseman. Batting sixth, Blake Wallenfang. He's the DH. Keon Booker is batting sixth. John Plaster is eighth. And playing left and batting ninth, Bailey Shep, the catcher. Pitching is Theo Zeidler.
Defensively for Sheboygan from left to right in the outfield, Nick Tenney. Braden Horn gets the start in center after Gus Walker's departure. And then right field's Alex. On the infield, Stelt, Riley Palmquist, Jacob Neese, and John Hadley. Then behind the plates, Cal Casper for the pitcher, Sawyer Kolakowski. Kolakowski comes in with a 3.50 ERA. Well, we were looking at it earlier. His whip's a little bit higher for that kind of ERA.
He's given up 24 hits in 18 innings, and I believe I had him at 9 walks, which a little bit high, could be worse, but you know, almost a 2 whip is not a good sign.
The thing about him that's been a little weird is he's been really good. As that one gets through for a base hit for Hartlaub, and the first base runner for on the first batter of the game. Last night we saw the first batter strike out for West Dallas, and then they didn't get a strikeout till the 8th inning. Another strikeout. Maybe we'll get another single in the 8th inning.
Yeah, right.
That brings up the 2-hole hitter, Alex.
Game time temperature is 67 degrees. Considerable drop from the temperature it was all day, and the skies are cloudy.
Yeah, a little bit of a rain delay, as we mentioned earlier, hour and 13. But from when it started, it looked like we weren't going to be able to play the game. A lot of puddles on the infield, but
a lot of puddles, and it was continuing to rain. And then the crew really got after it. A bunch of the players and Tim and the grounds crew just did a fabulous
this one hot after a 6-3 win over West Dallas last night to move them to 7-8 in the state league. You know, it's weird. You're sitting in the top spot. We were talking about earlier. You're sitting in the top spot in the Newble, but we're under 500 in the Scott State League.
Yeah, we were talking about that during the delay. The sore spot for Sheboygan in the state league. Addison, I believe we lost 3 games to them out of their 5 wins in the state league. So that really hurts.
Definitely. That pitch is high from Kolakowski, and the count goes full. Runner on first, it's Hartlip. And in the man up right now, the center fielder. Majoring in business at St. Mary's of Minnesota.
That's
Ball on the ground to Palmquist, flips to Neese, not in time, over to Hadley. That one will be in time. A 6-4-3 putout. It's a slow roller
that
to Palmquist.
University, St. Mary's in Minnesota, is right next to Winona State.
Oh, Cal Casper.
Yep. It's in, I believe it's Winona, Minnesota.
First pitch is in there for a strike. To Nick Terrell. Terrell's got a pretty good resume in his college career. He goes to Ripon. 333 average, 2024, and that earned him second team all Midwest Conference honors. Count is 0-2 to him now with one out in the inning. And that runner on second base. 0-2 pitch, a ground ball, fair, and that'll get down the line for extra bases for Terrell. Well, now hold at first, but a run will score anyway. Appleton strikes first.
Kenny with a great play in left to hold the hitter to a single.
Hey, look, destined for extra bases after it got past Terry at third, but like you said, great job by left fielder Tenney.
Doug Steinke is our home plate umpire. Peyton Kelling is on the bases.
Peyton just the hitter now, the cleanup batter for Appleton today. In right field. First pitch to him is outside and low, 1-0.
We had a game earlier this season that was rained out against the Legends. That's going to be played on July 25th here in town. Or pardon me, that'll be at Appleton.
Kolakowski ready for the 2-0 to Peyton Just. That one's low and spiked in the dirt, and Terrell will have second easily. Another man scoring position early on for Appleton. Still just a one down and a 3-0 count to the cleanup batter. Kolakowski, you mentioned had a few more walks than you like to see, but it's definitely been better control than last year. First pitch is in there for a strike. 3-1 now. He does have more strikeouts than walks. That's always obviously the goal. But maybe a little bit more than one. And that one's in the ground right to Kolakowski. Bobbles a little, but he'll get Justin plenty of time for the second out. Two down in the inning for the 5-hole hitter, Reed Heitpes.
Was Sawyer a basketball player at in high school?
Yep.
He showed pretty good quickness on the mound.
He's one of their better scorers. Big driver, not much of a shooter.
Okay. Take it to the hoop.
First pitch to Heitpes is low. Heitpes had a 500 batting average in college this year, Marty.
1 for 2.
1 for 2.
Still is 500, right?
Hits that one deep to left field, and that one is not coming back. 3-0 Appleton on the home run by Reed Heitpes. And he's got 1,000 average in this game.
Kenny knew it right away. He didn't even start chasing after the fly ball.
Heitpes taking a stroll around the bases. It's kind of what we thought was going to happen from the left fielder from Dallas last night on last year's home run.
This is what we don't like to have happen at any time, but when it's a 7-inning game, it exacerbates the problem.
Tonight's game, a 7-inning game because of the rain delay. Originally planned for 9. The hour rain delay moved that down to 7. And 3 hits on 3 runs already for Appleton in the top of the first. Next pitch from Kolakowski is inside to Blake Wallenfang. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed by Wallenfang. Fun name to say.
That one rolls off your tongue.
1-1, 2 outs. Kolakowski versus Wallenfang. 3 runs already in for Appleton in the inning as he takes strike 2 on that inside corner. 1-2 to him. Get a really good start to the year. That one's foul at the plate. A really good start to the year. Walks were down. Strikeouts. Wasn't strike out to me bad. There's a lot of balls in play.
He's pitching better than he did
Definitely.
his first season or so, which you mentioned. And that comes with experience.
I think part of it, what's made him a lot better, is not relying on that strikeouts to get him outs. Let his defense do the work. 2-2, 2 outs to Wallenfang. That one's taken outside. Runs it full. Wallenfang, the DH tonight. Hits that one right at Harry Stout for the 3rd out. Kolakowski gets out of the first, but not before Appleton gets 3 runs on the 2-run homer by Reed Hypes. A's coming up in the bottom of the first.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Here for the bottom of the first inning, and the A's got some catching up to do after giving up 3 runs in the top half of the inning. Theo Ziedler, the man on the mound for Appleton, goes Division I, Bradley University, part of the Missouri Valley Conference. Didn't have the greatest year, ERA well over 10, and 7 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts to 4 walks. See if the A's can take advantage of them tonight.
If you're going to get 3 runs down, you might as well get down in the first. It gives you more innings to work with to try and come back. And Sheboygan's offense has been pretty good lately. Hopefully we can get those 3 runs back and then tack on a few more and win this ball game.
Speaking of the offense, the starting lineup for Sheboygan goes Alex Ames leading it off in right field. Braden Horn hitting second, and he's in center. Harry Steltz back in the 3-hole. John Hadley's the cleanup man tonight, followed by Jacob Neese hitting 5th. Jimmy Jurgensen's hitting 6th. Riley Palmquist, the 7-hole hitters at shortstop. Nick Tenney's in the ball game in left field, hitting 8th. And rounding out Cal Casper behind the plate. Is hit foul right side and out of play. Ames went off to a hot 3 for 5 in that series. Got that average up over 300 now. The 0-1 pitch in there, strike 2.
Alex has a very high on-base percentage, partly been hit by a Yeah, plus the good batting average.
It's that one in the right center field. They get down for a base hit, and Sheboygan's got their leadoff runner on.
Nice piece of hitting, taking the pitch to right center actually. Instead of trying to pull it.
Definitely, we've seen him do. Yep.
Horn was one of the 3 hitters for Sheboygan that had a home run in the first game. He had a solo shot in the second.
Yeah, the 2, 4, and 5 hitters in Sheboygan's lineup all hit a home run in that first Appleton game. First pitch out of play. Owen. Lineup ever since he's arrived, hitting over 330. One of the 2 Milwaukee guys to make their way over Sheboygan. Teammate John Hadley's hitting cleanup tonight. 0-1 the Horn. Inside.
From far from here.
Zeeler ready for the 1-1 pitch. In there, strike 2 to Horn. Horn's in center field with the out. More likely Keithler will probably be the everyday guy, but Horn getting the start out there tonight. Next one's low in the dirt, 2-2.
Almost every game that Horn has started prior to tonight, he's been in left.
Yep. See how he does in center this time. Throw back over to first, and Ames is back safely. Really nice crowd, even with the rain delay of over an hour. A lot of people still in the stands. 2-2. Tie, ball 3.
If you're thinking about stolen, has 3 stolen bases on the season.
Full count pitch now to Braden Horn with the run on first. Ames taken high, ball 4, and the A's got 2 men on. Similar to how the Appleton inning started, the A's got 2 men of their own. Brings up Harry Stout. Still leading the team in batting average. Went 1 for 4 yesterday, but average still over 380.
Pretty hard to keep that average as high as he had. It was at 414 was his high watermark so far.
First pitch is in there. If you're hitting 400, you got to be hitting 2 for 5 every game.
I know.
That is multi-hit games.
Hard to maintain.
Definitely. That's why I haven't seen it since Ted Williams in the MLB.
Well, when Ted Williams came into the last game of the season, he was hitting 399.5, which the way they did the stats and they'd round it up to 400. And he said, I'm not taking that. I said, I'm playing. And he wound up having a great, I think it was almost a doubleheader. He went 4 or 5 hits and ended up at 406 on the season.
Wow. Incredible.
So even at that pace, he still wasn't able to be above the 400 mark. He had to do it on the last day.
0-2 pitch from Zeeler to Stelt. 2 men on, no one out for Sheboygan. High. The thing about Williams that's funny is he went to war and still came back to play baseball after that.
Right. And then he missed another stint when he was involved in the Korean War. So he missed a little part because of World War II and then part because of Korea.
Wow. True American. 1-2 is low and in the dirt again, and the count evens up at 2-2. A couple years ago, Luis Arise was on the Marlins at the time, had around 400 average at the All-Star break, But even he dropped to like 350 by the season's end.
I read an article somewhere not too long ago about him, Rod Carew, and George Brett all were flirting with 400 and couldn't achieve that. Boy, Zeidler seems to have a pretty good pop on his fastball.
It's not easy to go D1, even though he didn't have the greatest season. To even be at that level is pretty impressive.
Exactly.
Full count now on Harry Stout. Zeidler, the pitch, in the air, deep left field. Everyone's watching it. 3-run homer, Harry Stout. The game is tied. That is a Sheboygan, and number 4 against Appleton this season, and number 1 for Harry Stout in 2025.
Harry's first home run of the season couldn't have come at a better time.
That gets the crowd going. Appleton pulled out to a 3-0 lead, and just like that, the A's answer with 3 runs of their own.
Be nice to be able to talk to Harry now and ask him if there's some weight off his shoulders hitting that first home run.
It was like, it's like the only he doesn't lead it. If you look at all the different stats, you see Stout.
He led the club in home runs last year. Yep. Thinking about it.
And what shows the better power of this year's team, Lash already has more than that. Lash has 6 to what Harry led with 5 in 2024. Pitch to Hadley is low. And Zeidler having trouble. First 2 reach on a single and a walk, and then Stout lights it up with the 3-run homer. And he's still got to face the middle of Say's order. 1-0 pitch to Hadley's hit on the ground. Picked by a second baseman, and got Hadley in time. Great job by the second baseman for Appleton, Hartlub, to record the first out.
That was a great play, boy. Oh, robbed him of a base hit.
Brings up Jacob Neese. He's one of those guys that hit the home run in game 1 against Appleton. Zeidler looks in, and first pitch is in there for a strike.
The all-time record for Sheboygan. Last night we called the game, and Connor Lash, you mentioned, has 6 home runs on the season. 2 of them came last night. Single game record for Sheboygan. Greg Grawl hit 3 home runs back in 1984. Gene Mann did it in 1985. And then the next is, there's several with 2, Lash being one of them. So he was flirting with team history.
Too bad he didn't get another at bat. 3 hits, and that 1 hit, that was that little pop-up between second base and first base.
Hits one 400 feet, and then he hits one about 90 feet for a hit.
1-2 now on Jacob Neese, hitting 5th in Sheboygan's order today. Check swing, took it outside. It counts even at 2-2. Neese has been a guy that hasn't really hit too much for average so far this year, but he's been on base a lot. Leads the team in walks. 19 of them. That one hit to right, but playable for the right fielder just, and he makes the catch for the second out. Speaking of power, Jimmy Jurgensen's up. He almost hit one out last night.
Has 2 bombs on the year.
He hit that one right at the wall last night in right center field. Did end up getting a double. First pitch to him is hit in the air to center field, but playable for Hanneman, and he makes the catch to retire the side, but not before Harry still hits a 3-run jack. 3.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be delicious.
Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Eating, use a napkin.
You serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Why so serious?
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
So we enter the top of the second after a very eventful first. A's got theirs on a 3-run homer by Harry Stelt. First 3 reach for Sheboygan. Brings up Keon Booker, the first baseman, to lead off the second inning for Appleton. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1.
Keon, not a real big guy, but he looks powerful up there.
Next pitch, high. Yeah, a lot of times you see first baseman hit for a lot of power, so it would make sense that he'd be a power guy. Outside, Booker attends Marian University, majoring in sports management. Hit .298 with 9 RBIs, 14 games. All strike to him.
I went and majored in physical education. Is that kind of like sports management?
Yeah, it could be. Sports
More like-
management's very broad.
More like classroom management.
That pitch is outside, and Booker draws a walk to lead off the second inning. Laster, the left fielder for Appleton, is hidden. You like this one, Marty. Favorite athlete, Dansby Swanson.
All right.
Some Cubs love. Plaster attends Ripon College.
Favorite player is a shortstop.
Another one, majors in computer science
Oh,
and plays
I
baseball.
always get nervous when I'm by smart people. I have, that's why I feel pretty comfortable with you two guys.
0-2 now on Plaster. The pitch is fouled off the netting. Stays 0-2. Runner.
CJ's saying he's got his degree in computer science. That's pretty impressive for a hockey player.
Pitch is high, 1-2 now. First that's Booker, he drew a walk. 3 hits already for Appleton. Sheboygan's got 2 of them. That pitch nearly hit Plaster. Evens the count up at 2-2.
Yeah. Sawyer's throwing a lot of those up and in pitches. Makes me nervous standing up here.
It does. Line, perfect hit and
Oh.
run by Appleton. They're going to have him on the corners with nobody out. When you think hit and run, that's exactly how you dream it up. Second baseman goes to cover, and that leaves a huge gap in that four hole.
Oh, that one hurt. You know, going back, we talked about it. They've been creating a lot of damage
Bailey
this
Shep,
season.
Bailey Shep, the 9-hole hitter, most dangerous man to a Sheboygan A. That one picked, but it'll lead to the runner. Plaster getting the second base, and 2 runners in scoring position, and nobody out for Appleton. That I like. His favorite athlete, Jackson Churio. Both go to Ripon.
Yeah. How about that?
1-1 now to him. Shep, the catcher tonight. Missed. Infield in for Sheboygan, not wanting to concede that run. Big strikeout opportunity here for Kolakowski. 1-2 on the 9-hole hitter. Pitch just outside, evens it up at 2-2.
Sawyer, the kind of pitcher, a little bit like Brad. Situation more manageable.
Pitch swung on and fouled off the helmet of Casper. And Steinke's going to give him a second.
That's the second time we've seen within the last couple of ball games, Casper take one off the mask, and it's not a funny thing. It's can be dangerous with the concussion protocol. Catching, you got to move from behind the plate to first base.
Danger, probably the most dangerous position in baseball. Would you say maybe pitcher? I guess if a comebacker at you, but catchers more consistently get
I
hit
think
around.
catcher would be more. So you're dealing with the ball coming at you and the bat sometimes hitting you in the head.
Yeah, toughest guy in the field though.
For sure. You know who make good catchers? Hockey players.
Got one in the booth?
What, hockey player or baseball player?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Full count now on Shep. Pitch from Kolakowski, check
Ooh.
swing, and he went around for a strikeout. Huge strikeout for Kolakowski, get the first one.
Shep not happy about that. It looked like he may have checked it. It was hard to tell from up here, but
It was
big
definitely
out
close.
anyway.
It's tough also with the base umpire's position, kind of have to rely on Stanky for that call. First pitch is hit in the air, probably deep enough to score the runner at third, Booker, and it will be, and a sac fly and an RBI for the leadoff man, Hartleb, and it's 4-3 Appleton. If Sawyer can get out of this with just the one run, definitely will be a win for Sheboygan.
I would agree with you wholeheartedly on that.
Kolakowski, the first pitch to Hanneman.
Hanneman had an interesting ground out, a 6-4-3.
They weren't able to get the runner at second, but Hanneman was able to be retired. Hits that one right side. Hadley giving a look, but he's going to run out of room. It's going to be out into the Appleton bullpen. 0-2 now on the 2-hole hitter for Appleton and the center fielder, Alex Hanneman. Appleton scoring both innings. They got 3 in the first and 1 so far in the second. Pitch from Kolakowski strikes him out swinging to end the top of the second. Appleton gets 1, but it could have been a lot worse. Sheboygan heads at the bottom of the second, down by 1.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
The great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef, it's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot.
Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Bottom of the second, almost ready to go. Riley Palmquist ready to step in again. Ziedler. A's looking to pick up right where they left off in that first inning. Got the 3 runs. Ziedler kind of figured it out after that Harry Stell home run, retired the next 3 men on a ground on 2 flyouts. First pitch is line in the center field. Hanneman won't be able to get it. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Palmquist on his way to second, and he'll be in there standing with the leadoff double.
Good piece of hitting by Riley.
Off
He,
the
trying to get that 222 batting average up there a little bit more. Did that right there.
Off the bat, it looked like it was one of those balls that got hit too hard, and Hanneman was able to run it down, but just out of his reach.
The last thing we thought was going to happen is what happened.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
rolled by him.
Maybe the wet grass pushed it along.
Could be.
Brings up Nick Tenney, the 8-hole hitter and the left fielder tonight. First pitch to him is taken for a strike. You got to wonder if he's good friends with any of these players on Appleton. A lot of them attend.
Oh, I'm
Ripon.
sure I saw some of the A's players over by the Appleton dugout prior to the game talking to one another, so I'm sure they have friends on the other team.
Tenney takes one low and in the dirt, evens it up at 1-1. Palmquist standing at second. He had that leadoff double just a few pitches ago. Boy looking to threaten and score again in the second inning. Next pitch taken in the dirt again, 2-1. Ziedler ready for the 2-1 pitch to Nick Tenney. Looks in and throws. Slow again, moves the count to 3-1.
I think Tenney would get a little in the absence of Gus.
Yeah, his playing time has decreased ever since Braden Horn arrived. And again, like you said, with Gus's departure, maybe he'll get 3-1 pitch is low, and Tenney draws the walk. Another 2 men on to lead off the inning for Sheboygan.
And again, it's the bottom third of the order that's creating havoc. You know, Appleton able to get a run, hopefully Sheboygan can
Brings up Cal Casper.
get better,
You're
get
saying
more runs than one.
Yeah. You were saying Winona State earlier was very close to the St. Mary's of Minnesota. That's where Cal Casper goes to college. First pitch.
He's been struggling with his hitting. You think it might be a good opportunity to bunt the runners over.
Yeah, we'll see what Tim does here.
Third baseman for the Appleton is way back, way behind the bag.
Casper takes low and a huge bounce, and both runners will advance. Palmquist will hold up at third.
So much for bunting.
The way Palmquist was running away at third, it looked like he was trying to go to score.
He thought about it, but when Zeidler, the pitcher, came down to cover it, put an end to that notion.
1-1 in Casper, 2 men on for Sheboygan on third and second. Man on second, Tenney. Man on third, Palmquist. 1-1 pitch to Casper's high. Zeidler's found himself in a very difficult situation in both the first 2 innings.
Can see why his ERA is as high as it was at Bradley.
Pitch in the air, foul right side. Just into the bullpen area for Appleton. 2-2 on Cal Casper. Type of at bat where you just want to put the ball in play. That third baseman for Appleton has come up almost even with the bag, as well as the first baseman. 2-2 pitch. Hit in the air to right, falling fast, but the second baseman makes the play, and Riley will not tag. Another great play by Hartlib at second base.
Showed a lot of range on that particular play and a great arm getting it right in. And we saw the good arm on that play where he robbed Hadley of the base hit.
Especially going off his back foot like that made that throw even more impressive. Alex Ames led off this game with a single, scored on the Harry Stout home run, looking to get some RBIs of his own this time. Big opportunity. First pitch is high, 1-0. One down, Sheboygan down by 1, but they are threatening. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. 1-0, way inside on Ames. Never mind.
Ames looked like he was a little worried on that pitch.
Called strike.
What?
The way Ames moved all the way to that one, it looked it was way inside, but Steinke did not agree. Pitch nearly hits Ames. That one is a ball.
They're definitely playing fastball tonight.
Maybe Zeidler setting up for an outside pitch, trying to get Ames all uptight on the inside stuff. That one is just high, 3-1. Definitely don't want to break up the middle of the A's order with the bases loaded if a walk to Ames here. Big pitch for Zeidler. Pitch is hit foul off the netting. Runs it full. Three-two count, 1 out to the leadoff hitter, Alex Ames. Ames takes it up and in, and he draws the walk. Bases loaded for Bradenhorn. Shep out there to talk with Zeidler. Infield will stay back, especially the middle infield, play that double play. Horn had a walk of his own in the first inning, came around and scored.
We also mentioned when he came up to bat that first time, he also hit a home run in that first game.
Definitely.
So hopefully he can stay hot against the Legends.
One of his 2 home runs on the year came against Appleton. First pitch is high. Zeeler's having trouble with the strike zone.
Don't see anyone warming up in Appleton's bullpen.
One and 0 to Horn. Hit on the ground and off. Took a big bounce off the infield, and 2 runs are going to score easily. It looked like Terrell might have had a chance if not for that little lip at the edge of the grass and the start of the infield dirt. But A's will take it.
Good hustle by Tenney to score from second.
And just like that, the A's have the lead again. A lot of crooked numbers on that scoreboard so far. 3 out of the 4 innings. Now it brings up the main RBI man. Extended that RBI lead. He's got 24 of them now. Harry Stelt. Pitch is low in the dirt. Got to wonder if that home run he gave up to Stelt's kind of bothering him a little bit. I wonder if he's going to pitch around him a little.
Hey, you got to be, I'm sure the pitcher is thinking about it.
Pitch swung on and missed. Heavy hack by Harry.
I think Horn's ball was going to be a base hit even if the shortstop knocks it down, but if that would have happened, I don't think the second run would have scored.
1-1 to Harry is just outside and low. 2-1. Still 1 out in the inning, and the A's still have 2 runners on base after the Horn single. Another one outside, and it's 3-1 on Harry.
You know, it's hard to tell if Zeidler is worried about Harry or just having trouble throwing strikes.
He was having trouble coming into this at bat, walking 2 men already in the inning, but definitely.
And he had a walk in the first inning.
Definitely would think more cautious with a man of Stelt's status. Full count now on Harry Stelt.
Good speed on second base and Ames.
Stelt hits one just foul up the first base line. Remains 3-2. The man on deck, Hadley, also had a home run against Appleton, and even looking further, Jacob Neese, the man after him, also hit one. So 2, 3, 4, and 5 all hit home runs against Appleton this year as Stelt draws the walk to load the bases. Third walk of the inning for Sheboygan. And that brings out the Appleton pitching coach.
A couple announcements. July 10th is bingo night at the City of Sheboygan Town Hall. Doors open at 5. The progressive jackpot, $5,395. You know, do your little dollar bets on the phone. Get over to bingo and win some big money, Lucas.
Zeidler's going to remain out there. Definitely not now he's going to want to look back on so far, but the A's can make it even worse right now. Bases loaded, 1 out. Five runs on 4 hits so far. corner infielders playing even with the bag, but the middle infielders are back on the edge of the dirt as Hadley hits one to left field. Playable. Ames on the move. The throw in is cut off, and Ames will score easily. 6-4 Sheboygan on the sac fly from John Hadley. Plaster, there's no chance for Plaster really to get Ames with that speed.
I thought his technique was great. You know, he retreated, and then he came up and caught the ball on the motion forward towards the plate and then threw all at once, you know, all in one motion, which is the way you want to do it. He just didn't have the arm to throw the runner out.
Neese pops one up in the shallow right field, incoming just, and the ball drops, and the A's are going to get another run. 7-4 Sheboygan on the miscue in shallow right field. Hartleb would have been so good at second base. I think he thought that was just ball the whole way.
Yeah, there was some miscommunication out there, and Just did not get a good jump at all. First of all, I think he was a little too deep, and then he didn't break on the hit right away.
You give an E4 on that one?
No, that's a base hit, I would say. I'd give him a hit.
Similar to the situation last night, it's kind of weird to score because it didn't hit anyone's glove. Pitch to Jurgensen's hit on the ground a second. Hartleb's got a chance to redeem himself. Throws it over to Booker in time to retire the side, but Sheboygan gets 4 more on the bases loaded sac fly and double. 7-4.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Terrell leading it off for the top of the third inning for Appleton. Even though the Legends have scored in both innings, they still find themselves down 3 runs.
Had a scoring change. Bill and Lucas thought it was an error, so I'm changing it to an error, E4. So Jacob loses a hit and an RBI. Jacob, you can blame those two guys. Probably the correct decision.
A little bit different than last night, I guess you could say. They're very similar plays in the end, but I guess that one last night got just dropped.
You're talking about the pop-up on the infield last night? Yeah, that one was not touched by anyone.
I didn't really think Hartleb's was touched either, but...
Out there?
Yeah.
Okay, Bill said he thought he had it in his glove and dropped it. I couldn't tell for sure.
That one, way foul by Terrell. Terrell had a single his first time up.
Looks like one of the Friars is on fire. So we got smoke coming in on the third base side.
And the call went around. Terrell moves it to 0-2. Terrell scored on the home run by Hypus. Made it 3-0 Appleton at the time. That one's inside. 1-2 now on Terrell.
Hopefully the 3-run lead will inspire Sawyer.
Yeah, both teams have scored in the first 2 innings. Sheboygan's got 2 crooked numbers, 3 and 4, respectively. 1-2 count to Terrell. Just inside. Evans count up at 2-2. Sawyer had those 24 hits, like you mentioned, come in. 4 so far tonight. That one hit on the ground sharply to Palmquist. Scoops, throws, and nowhere near in time. Terrell will beat it out. Tough play for Palmquist at short.
Yeah, it was a very tough, deep in the hole, and part of what made it really tough was the fact that Riley was shaded up the middle.
Definitely. If he was more over to his right, maybe a little bit easier play, maybe even a routine play.
Definitely could have been a routine play if he'd have been over.
Just now, he was part of that debacle in right field that led to that one dropping, but he doesn't get credit for the mistake, though.
Right.
1-0, swing and a miss from Just.
We had talked last night about not allowing the leadoff hitter in an inning to get on base. Tonight, Appleton has put their leadoff hitter on all 3 innings.
Yeah, first time it wasn't until the 7th inning that West Dallas got their leadoff runner on. Two and one now on Peyton Just. That one hit in the air to right field. Going back is Ames, but he'll have room to make the catch for the first out. That one was hit hard by just didn't quite have the distance.
Alex making a nice play out there.
He's been a really good outfielder too, especially for a right fielder. To have that kind of defense out there is very helpful. Brings up the man who hit the home run in the first inning, Reed Hypus, as pitch is taken and the throw to second nearly goes into center field. Jacob tried to fake like he has the ball in his glove to tag the runner at second, Terrell, but the ball was sitting right next to him. Kept Terrell in the bag, though.
Yes. It was a good reach on what was not a very good throw.
0-1 on Hypus is taken. 1-1.
Is that the second stolen base or first stolen base of the night? I thought they had one other one.
I don't know. 1 and 2 to Hypus with one down and a runner in second. And he's going for third. Casper, a throw over to third.
Oh,
Not in time. Our angle up here looked pretty close. But Calling says he got there.
That was the second stolen base. The other times that their runners advanced both times were on wild pitches.
That's how they got those runners in scoring position in the first. 2 and 2 now. That one's hit foul by Hypus. Third baseman for Appleton today.
Home plate umpire threw that ball out. Doug Steinks, he said, put it in the batting practice bag.
That one taken outside from Hypus. It moves it full. Runner on third. Big opportunity for a ground ball or a strikeout for Kolakowski. Keep that runner at third. Pitch is hit in the air into shallow right field. Neese under it and makes the catch for the second out. Tagging up is the runner, Terrell, and he scores. That was a gutsy move as the ball in from Neese hits off the umpire, Steinke, and Appleton gets a run out of it. Tagging up in shallow right field.
He certainly caught Neese by surprise. Jacob has the kind of arm that could have thrown him out with a good throw, but I think he was just surprised by the fact that the runner on third would tag up on something like that.
I think that was what he was going for. Let's try the element of surprise.
Well, it worked. And they get another run.
Continues the streak of runs scored. It's between the two teams, 5 straight frames.
I like the way you call that, 5 straight frames. I'd have been five half innings.
2 and 1 on Wallenfang. Takes that one outside, 3-1. He had that line out to Harry to end the first inning.
Yeah, that ball was scalded. He got robbed.
Right after the home run, too. Appleton's bats were hot. Swing and a miss by Wallenfang. Puts the count the full 3-2. We know Kolakowski can blow up past anybody. Let's even do it here. 3-2. Swung on and fouled back.
Just got a piece of that pitch.
2 down. Bases are empty after the sac fly. 3-2. Hit on the ground to Harry. Just stays fair. Throw to first. Not in time. Wallenfang beats out for the second infield hit of the inning for Appleton.
They are finding ways to get on base, and I mean, they've had several hits tonight where they haven't exactly hit it real hard, but they've certainly hit it in good spots.
Yeah, really, the only ball hit hard was the home run.
The one, the out,
that
was hit hard.
Hits.
But hits, right.
That one hit on the ground, foul, and into the Appleton dugout nearly.
You know, and all of a sudden now they got the tying run at the plate.
Been a weird game. No lead is safe tonight.
No, exactly.
Keon Booker.
As you look at the flag in center, there's a gentle breeze blowing out.
It's that one foul the other way this time, 0-2. Booker drew a walk and scored the only Appleton run in the second inning. 6 hits now for the Legends. 5 runs. 0-2 pitch is outside, 1-2.
We talked last night about how long Lavisa would go, and he got his required 5 innings to get the win, and that's what happened. With the amount of pitches Sawyer's throwing, you got to wonder how long is he going to be able to go.
Called strike 3 to retire Booker to end the inning, but Appleton gets another one back. 7-5 Sheboygan as we head to the bottom of the third.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
A's enter the bottom of the third with a 2-run lead, 7-5 over Appleton. Riley Palmquist will lead off his second consecutive inning after the A's sent 9 to the plates last frame. That resulted in 4 runs. Zeeler finishing up the warm-up, and he'll be ready to face Riley Palmquist, and Chase Hanselman will be the first base coach for at least this third inning.
We got to keep scoring runs.
Yeah. Appleton has scored in all 3 innings, and Sheboygan scored in their first 2. Palmquist had that double, that line drive double right past Hanneman in center. First pitch to him is check swing taken outside, 1-0. 7 runs on just 4 hits for Sheboygan.
Palmquist's double was his 3rd one of the year.
Yeah, he had one a couple weeks back right down the line.
That's a long time between doubles.
It's the last one I remember. 2-0 now to him. Hitting 7th in the order today.
He's a better hitter than what he's showing this season.
Takes that one inside.
Yeah, hopefully his average will pick up the second half of the season.
I talked about how well he was hitting last year before the injury. And he started off the season pretty good. Slumping a little bit lately, but he got that big hit earlier. Taken automatically on 3-0. Moves out to 3-1. He is back at shortstop, though, per usual. Whenever he's in the lineup, he'll be at shortstop. Hits that one to left, but right in the tracks of the left fielder. Plastered for the first out.
He's not fooled tonight.
No. 2 hard hit balls. First one almost got robbed too by Hanneman, but he got rewarded with the double that time. Brings up Nick Tenney. He had a walk and came around and scored in that second inning. First pitch from Ziedler. Hit hard, just foul. Sounded like he broke his bat on that one. Looks to be the case.
Yeah, could hear it up here.
That was not the barrel.
The bat
Close.
did not die a hero.
No. Died a foul ball. Hit it hard, though. I mean, if the baseball field was a little more left. Tenney's got a new bat, and he's ready for the 0-1 from Ziedler. Takes a strike. 0-2 now. You hope that it doesn't have that same effect last night. They did a lot of damage early on, and then offense kind of went silent for about 5 innings.
Right. They got that.
That pitch hit hard right over the head of Heidpiss at third, and Tenney will have a single.
Good base hit, especially since he had a 0-2 count on him. It was a good comeback.
Yeah, he was looking to take that ball to left field. Hit that one hard that he broke his bat on just earlier. Now the 9-hole hitter, Cal Casper, popped up to second his last time up, and it wasn't an easy pop-up either. Hartleb had to work for that one.
He made a great play on it. Cal got robbed.
Throw to first, but in safely is Tenney. You know, Tenney's got great speed at first. Pitch is outside to Casper.
Tenney does have forced 3 stolen bases. Was caught once.
That fly out from Palmquist was the first time a batter did not lead off on base in this game. First time a team did not put their leadoff man on base.
Well, we'll just have to show them we can score when we don't get our leadoff man on.
Doesn't matter if we start off in the out, we can still score.
Exactly.
2-0 to Casper. Runner on first, Tenney. Hits that one foul right side, out of play. Ames stands on deck. He's been on base both times.
Cal appearing in his 16th game.
He's seen a lot of action behind the plate. A little bit more limited after what Lash has been doing recently, but still he's getting good playing time. 3-1 to him. Ziedler struggled with the bottom of this order for the A's so far. See if that continues. 3-1, Tenney on the move, popped up foul, and out of play again by Casper.
Second baseman came over to cover the bag, and when he saw the ball was fouled, he let the runner, Tenney, know that it was fouled out of play. Good sportsmanship.
Yeah, we didn't see it last night with Jacob.
No.
3-2 to Casper, lines it into left field for a base hit, and 2 men on again for Sheboygan. The throw in is wild and gets past Terrell at short, but no advance.
Diving on the ground for that ball. Couldn't make the play.
2 more hits for Sheboygan in the third, and the top of their order's back up, and it's Alex Ames.
Ames has a nice night going with a single and a walk and 2 runs scored.
He's consistently been getting on base for Sheboygan. That's why he's in that leadoff spot tonight. The first pitch to him is taken high. We saw last year he really didn't hit for too much average, but his on-base percentage was over 400, and now his batting average is over that 300 mark. 1-0 to him. Takes a strike on that inside corner, 1-1. After that hit tonight, he's up to 325 batting average. An average that was just over 200 a couple weeks ago. 1-1 to Ames, 1 down. Swung on and missed. 1-2.
Seidler still bringing the heat.
Yeah, too bad. Well, good for Sheboygan, but too bad for him. It's been a rough outing other than the velocity on his fastball. 1-2 to Ames. Takes that one outside. Great job by Shep to keep that one in front. 2-2. Sheboygan trying to keep the run streak alive between the two teams. Sits at 5 in the bottom of the third. Ames swung on and missed again. And he strikes out swinging for the second out. Brings up Braden Horn. He's done the opposite of Alex Ames. He walked his first time and got a single in the second. That brought home a run. 2 of them. Horn after that hits up to 348. Hits that one in the air to right field, but playable for just to retire the side in the third. Sheboygan does not get a run for the first time tonight, but they still find themselves leading 7-5 as we go to the fourth.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
Back for the top of the fourth. New pitcher on the mound for Sheboygan. It's Sean Gavin. Replaces Sawyer Kolakowski after 3 innings. Not the greatest start of his Sheboygan A's career, but he still finds himself with a lead. Gavin replaces him, and he'll face these 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Appleton. Plaster, Shep, and Hartleb. Gavin's been really good so far for Sheboygan. The area of 3.12 and 17 in the third innings. 19 strikeouts to 7 walks.
Sawyer Kolakowski's line, he went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned. Only walked 1 and struck out 3 and did allow the home run. He did not pitch the required innings to be eligible for a win, so he won't be involved in the decision tonight.
7-inning game probably doesn't put too much bearing on Sheboygan because they have off for a little bit. So last week this would have been really big to save some arms, but a little bit too late. But still, it's always good to keep arms ready.
You know, I don't think we talked enough about our second pitcher last night who went those 2 innings and kind of bridged that gap between the 5 and the 8 and 9.
Yep. Emery was the one that went those 2 innings. He did a nice job. Swung on a miss to start off Plaster. And he made the wait for Rindflesh, who would get the save. Hold off West Dallas 6-3 last night.
Brad made it quite interesting in that 8th inning, allowing the bases to get loaded with nobody out.
But 0 earned runs for him.
Oh yeah, a couple of strikeouts, and I believe it was a pop out, and we're out of the inning.
We were shaking up here as Plaster swings and misses for the first out. Gavin starts his outing out with a strikeout.
Hey, they didn't get their leadoff man on.
Start a trend.
You got to relish in the small victories.
And then move our way toward the big victory. Bailey Shep, the catcher, will be up now. Struck out his first time up on that check swing. He didn't agree with it.
What's amazing is when we were sitting up here during the rain and looking at the field, and boy, it didn't look like we were going to be able to get a game in at all. And again, the grounds crew did a great job of getting it ready, and it's probably in better shape now than it would have been if we had not had any rain.
Yeah, it definitely needed some water. It looks a lot nicer. And definitely what you said, the ground crew did a really great job getting this field ready, because about that 6:37 mark, it looked unplayable.
Yeah.
Didn't know if they'd be able to get it ready in time.
CJ earlier had mentioned Harvey, the main grounds crew guy. We don't have a last name on him. I know that Dave Hinsey also helps with the grounds crew and the grass cutting and that, so he's a part of that. Not tonight.
2-2 now on Shep. Takes a called strike through in the outside corner. Gavin, 2 strikeouts in a row to start off. Back to the top of the order for Tate Hartlib. He's been good at the plate, but also really good at second base so far.
He's been really good out there. I know we gave him an error on that one play, but don't let that influence you on his defensive ability.
Hartlib almost looks to square around the bunts, but holds it back and takes the ball.
Got Harry to take a step up over at third.
He's got a lot of room that third base side, especially one right past Gavin might lead to an infield hit. Takes that one on the outside corner, evens it up at 1-1. Hartlib has a single and then a sac fly. Takes that one, and that sac fly was just past Nice. No. 1-2 now. Hits it on the ground. Hadley's flips it over to Gavin, and he can't come up with it. Don't know if he would have got him anyway.
Looked like he had a base hit. Give Gavin kudos for getting over to the base as quick as he did. He could see what was developing once he saw Jimmy go, or Hadley go after it.
Hartlib's sac fly was not the one to shout right field. That was the sac fly from Hypus that brought in Terrell. But now it's Hanneman. He's 0 for 2. 6-4-3 ground out and a strikeout. Hits that one on the ground to Palmquist. Flips over to Nice in time to retire the side. Sheboygan puts up a 0 in the top of the fourth, and they still lead at 7-5 going into the bottom half.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support programs like Boys and Girls Clubs and Girls Who Code that show kids they can dream anything and do even more.
Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
Back for the bottom half of the fourth inning, and a new pitcher on the mound for the Appleton Legends, Brennan. Say it again. Brennan Chenoweth is the new pitcher on the mound for Appleton to start off this bottom half of the fourth inning. He will face the heart of the Sheboygan order 3, 4, and 5, Stelt, Hadley, and Nice. Ziedler did not have an outing to remember, 7 runs given up. Not all of them earned because of the Jacob Nice error.
I think that all of our runs are earned. Jacob didn't have an error.
No, the one he hit, E4, that brought in the 2 runs, is that not unearned?
Oh, yes, you are right.
Was that now with 2 outs?
Yeah, 3 of the runs were earned in that inning, and the 3 in the first inning. So 6 out of the 7 are earned.
Not the guy you want to greet to start off an outing, but Harry Stelt is the leadoff man to face Chenoweth. 7-5 Sheboygan. First pitch is outside.
Seidler went 4 innings, gave up the 6 hits, 7 runs. 6 of those 7 were earned. 4 walks, that was really the killer.
Another bomb, deep left field and way out of here for Harry Stelt. 2 now on the 2025 season, and another Sheboyganer for Harry Stelt. 8-5 Sheboygan.
Well, another one where the left fielder didn't even have to turn around and run after it. Just watch it sail out of here.
Back-to-back days with multi-homer games for Sheboygan bats. This time it's Harry Stelt. That one was mashed. Welcome to the game, Chenoweth.
Yeah, exactly. And a 3-run lead again, which is always nice.
First pitch to Hadley is high. Another guy with real power, but you can't be pitching around. Not easy coming into a game and facing the 3, 4, or 5 hitters, no matter what the lineup is.
Boy, Shep took one, I believe, off the shoulder. He's hurting back there.
Yeah, we
saw spiked that one, and Shep tried to block it, and it didn't hit the pad.
We saw Casper take one off him, and Steige gave him a second. Same thing happening with Shep this time around. The A's took an inning off, but picked up right where they left off from the first two with a home run from Stout. Moved that lead back up to 3. And you were mentioning that 3 homers in a game, the A's record.
Yeah,
Harry's
Greg Grawl and Gene Mand.
Harry might get another opportunity to hit, depending on the A's offense, and hopefully they keep the lead so they won't have to hit in that 7th. As Hadley hits one on the ground to Hartlib, fields and throws over to Booker in time for the first out. Jacob Neese, the batter, reached on an error. That tough play from Hartlib that brought in 2 runs. One down in the inning. First pitch to Neese is right back at Hartlib. Second time in the row. And over to Booker again for the second out.
And you think about the last couple of nights, the second basemen have been awfully busy.
Neese too, even on over the weekend against Lombard.
That's what I was referring to. All the balls he got.
He had a lot of action last night against West Dallas as well. First pitch is outside.
Coming into the season, Harry had 51 career home runs. He now has 53, and that ranks him 7th on the all-time list.
And with that home run, Sheboygan has officially hit more home runs in 2025 than they did in 2024.
That could be a trivia question. Who leads the team franchise? Who has a franchise record in home runs?
Yes. 19 home runs in 2025 thus far, 18 in 24. 3-0 to Jurgensen, hit on the ground to Booker. And he'll go and step on the bag to end the inning, but not before Harry Stout hits his second homer of the game to push the A's lead to 3, 8-5 as we head to the 5th.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you don't just feed yourself or your family. You help support programs like Simply Give that feed our neighbors in need.
Thank you.
I grew up working in my family's supper clubs. This is where it started with us as far as the fish that we serve at Culver's today. We source the finest cod and batter each fillet by hand and always cook it to order. That beautiful golden brown color and flaky on the inside. The fish fry is a Midwest tradition. It's about families coming together. I love bringing this tradition to guests everywhere. Mom and Dad would be proud. Welcome to Delicious.
Wingism number 1, the Flavor Saver. Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 2, the Joker.
Then her dad walked in. Dude, we're done eating. Use a napkin. You serious? Yeah. Are you serious? Yeah, I'm serious.
Why so serious?
Our trivia question for tonight, the official one, is this Hall of Fame shortstop has the most hits in a season with 95. This Hall of Fame shortstop has the most hits in a season with 95. Flip it over. Gavin's still on the mound for Sheboygan.
And you were talking about with Gavin how much cleaner the inning looked than with Kolakowski on the mound.
It's not that every pitch that Sean threw was a strike, but the ones that weren't were closer to the plate.
That's just the way Kolakowski has been. He's gotten outs, and today not as much as normal, but he's not always a huge control guy. 1-2 now. That one line in the left field for Terrell. Another base hit, number 3 on the day for him. All three of them singles. He's come around and scored both of the first two at-bats. Hopefully he stays right at first this time. Peyton Just is up. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out.
Double play ball would look nice.
That one fouled off the netting. And we almost had a double play ball in the first inning on Hanneman,
Yeah.
but got the runner at first.
Couldn't quite get the guy at second.
0-1 to Just. That one's high, evens it up at 1-1.
We had some controversy up here in the press box. I got my information from a record book that we have. Gets updated each year. And it gives single season records and career records and things of that nature. And in it had Harry listed with 51 home runs in his career. And so we're going, he's got 53 now. Tim had texted CJ that it was his 50th home run. So controversy up here. Yeah, Tim does the record book, and he had it at 50, but yet the book had 51 coming into tonight.
Guess we'll never know.
And we haven't even begun to talk about what he needs to do for the old timers.
Count is full on Just. That runner at first, it's Terrell. He's been on base all 3 times. Pitch from Gavin, and Terrell on the move. It's ball 4, so be at second anyway.
Oh, boy. Tying run comes to the plate again, Lucas.
How many times have we said that tonight? Both teams have scored in 3 of the 4 innings. 8-5 the current score, but it's fluctuated a lot early on.
Did you give him my book? Thank you. Oh,
and
Batter
that
got
pitch hits Heidpiss, and the bases are loaded with no one out. Let's hope Gavin can pull a Rhineflesh from last night, get out of it unscathed.
There's trouble in Sheboygan now.
Gavin, a tough situation that he put himself in. Single walk hit by pitch, and he faces the 6-hole hitter Wallenfang. He's got him 0-1. That one in there for a strike. 0-2 to Wallenfang. First out in these situations is always the toughest to get.
And you don't want to give him something too good here when you have your head on the count.
That one hit to center field. Horn is there, but more likely enough to score Terrell at third. And it will. 6-8.
Doesn't look like Sheboygan's going to appeal on the tag up.
Sacrifice fly for Blake Wallenfang, the 3rd one of the night for Appleton. Big first out for Gavin, even though the run was scored, Sheboygan still holds that 2-run lead. Brings up Keon Booker, the first baseman.
Horn's choice to throw it to third was important too to keep the double play in order.
That one hits the seats. Foul, 0-1. Booker drew a walk and also struck out so far. 0 for 1 officially.
Booker worries me. He looks like he's got good power.
And we've seen balls fly out of the park as both runners will advance on the ball past Casper. 1-1. Great base running by both Just and Heidpiss to move into scoring position. And then just as you were saying with that throw from Horn.
Doesn't matter now.
1-1 to Booker. Outside and high. 2-1.
Tying run is at second base.
Yeah, how quickly this game has flipped both ways so far. Appleton got out to that 3-run lead early before Sheboygan tied. Pitch to Booker's hit to left field, falling fast. It's going to drop for a base hit. And a run's going to score for Appleton. Peyton just comes around, and moving over to third is Heitpes. And a base hit for Keon Booker. 9 of them now for Appleton. And that tying run moves to third with just 1 out. We were talking after Sheboygan got to 7, and even after Harry's home run last inning, no lead is safe tonight. That first pitch is in there to Plaster. Plaster singled and struck out. The man after him, Shep, has struck out both times he's been up.
Infield is back, looking for the double play.
Pitch is in the dirt, and Booker's going to take second and forget about that double play again. More great base running by Appleton, just looking for that pitch in the dirt. It was even a good block by Casper.
It was a very nice block, and Booker actually read it real well. Got a great jump off the bag when he saw it in the dirt. Would have been kind of chancy to throw down anyway.
You figured eventually Booker would have been on the move regardless. And now, even more difficult situation for Gavin. Takes that one inside, 2-1. A lead that was 3 coming in to this inning is now gone down to 1, and Appleton still threatening. The infield comes in now. Down hit on the ground. Palmquist throws home and out at the plate is the runner coming home at Heitpes for the second out. Huge play by Palmquist, and that's why you bring your infield in those situations.
Sheboygan.
Why you bring your infield in sometimes does make the gaping hole bigger. Off Gavin. Tries to, and he can't pick it up cleanly, and the bases are loaded. Another infield hit for Appleton. Shep hit it right at Gavin, just couldn't get a hold of it. And now a dangerous situation for the top of the order, and a man who's been on twice, Tate Hartleb.
Tim Moyer coming out to talk to his pitcher. You know, the way things look right now, Lucas doesn't look like 8 runs are going to be enough.
Definitely not, especially with the bases loaded. Just holding that 1-run lead. Hartleb, like I mentioned, 2 for 2. Does have a sac fly as well. Two down. Bases loaded. 1-run lead in the top of the 5th in just a 7-inning game. 15 runs between the teams.
Wilson Pickett, give me some 11. So hopefully he can get this third out and experience that.
First pitch high and outside to Hartleb.
No place to put him. Got to throw a strike.
That one swung on and missed, and that's a good start for Gavin. Definitely don't want to be walking home that tying run. Don't want to ever walk home a run, but makes it even more dreadful. 1-1, 2 outs. Yeah, good breaking ball from Gavin. Hartleb, all he could do was sit there and watch it.
I don't think he was expecting a breaking pitch.
Locked up the knees. 1-2. Bases loaded for Gavin. clinging to that 1-run lead. The pitch. Called strike 3. He got him looking. And the A's retain the lead despite letting up 2 runs in the 5th. They lead 8-7 in the bottom half.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support organizations like Hope House Mission and New Hope Shelter that give people around here warmth, shelter, and care.
Me smells the great taste of Sheboygan.
What does it take to stay in business for 75 years? It's not only featuring USDA choice beef. It's not caring about every single one of our 30 varieties of bratwurst. Nope. After being family owned for 3 generations, we've learned it's about you. At Miesfeld's Market, we give back to the community and our customers always come first. Since 1941, we've been feeding our neighbors, so come by and see what we've got today.
Wingism number 3, the Peter Heater.
Oh, so hot.
Oh, so hot!
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor. Wingism number 4, tea time.
What are you, having tea with the Queen?
Hello.
Nice.
Legend Larry's, the definition of flavor.
Our trivia question again tonight was, this Hall of Fame shortstop has more hits in a season, the most hits in a season with 95. That was Jason Bartelt, who holds that record. And we also talked when we were mentioning about Harry's 2 home runs, and is it 51 or 53? Anyway, the career leader for home runs, franchise leader, is Gene Mand, 137.
Yeah. Played 25 seasons. You're going to get
a
lot of hits. 137 home runs, still very impressive, though.
He was a good one. Actually, he's better than good. He was a great one. And as great of a ball player as he was, he's a better person.
Yeah.
Was
it's always most
long-time baseball coach at Manitowoc Lincoln.
Really? We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. No surprises leading it off. Riley Palmquist, the 3rd time in the last 4 innings he's led off.
Let's get some runs.
They've done it 3 out of 4 times, but just isn't enough the way this game has been going. Palmquist hits it in the air to right, but playable for the first out. Nick Tenney up. He's been on both times, a walk and a single. Line that went right over the head of Heitpis his last time up. Sheboygan is being out hit 10-7, but still find themselves ahead. Tenney up the middle, another base hit for him. He's been on all 3 times so far today. Cal Casper comes up now, a runner on first base. He singled his last time up.
And he got robbed on his first time to the plate by the second baseman.
He could very easily be 2 for 2 as well.
I'd like to see Sheboygan do a little bit of running on the base paths, or a hit and run, or something like that. Get the juices flowing a little bit.
Appleton had a very nicely executed hit and run, and they've stolen a few bases as well. First pitch is in there to Casper. Tenney, we know, has got great speed. Won't be surprised to see him on the move. 1 down. Especially with the top of the order behind Casper. Get a runner in scoring position. Next pitch from Chenoweth to Casper is high, 1-1.
he goes. Eric Hasenstein in the stands.
That one spiked in there, 2-1 to Casper.
That would have been the pitch to run on.
Definitely. And we saw some of the Appleton runners take advantage of the pitches in dirt before it was even blocked, even though it was kept in front nicely by Casper. Booker was able to steal second. 2-1 to Casper. That one's low as well, 3-1. But a very clean defensive game so far. Both sides other than that Hartlebeer.
Yeah, which was a tough one. It could have just as well been a hit, possibly.
3-1. Swung on and missed by Casper. Runs it full.
Well, question is, do you run your man on first with 2 strikes on the hitter?
Yeah, hope for a walk or a pitch in the dirt. There is the walk. And 2 men on again for Sheboygan. And at the top of the order, Alex Ames.
And Tenney was on the move.
Called it, Marty.
That's why I'm the analyst.
Expert analysis.
Let's just call it analysis.
Alex Ames up. He's been on twice with a single and a walk. Struck out his last time up. First time he's going to see Chenoweth. Pitch in there for a strike. Chenoweth came in and gave up a home run right off the bat to Harry Stout, the one that was way out of here. 0-1 to Ames is outside and low, 1-1.
Harry's, both his home runs were pretty much bombs. Second one longer than first.
Yeah, definitely. That one right off the bat, you knew it. And even the first one you did. Center fielder gave it a little bit more effort that time. 1-1 to Ames. Hit on the ground up the middle. Terrell under his glove. Tenney's going to score, and over to third goes Casper. And a costly mistake by the shortstop, Terrell. It's going to go as a hit.
What?
According to Bill, we got a hit.
That's an error.
I'm going E6.
I'm going E6.
But
it looked like a sure double play was
definitely
misplayed.
And he could have been the problem. Maybe Terrell was thinking about that flip over the side.
Exactly. Might have pulled his head up and let the ball get by him.
But nonetheless, it's another run for Sheboygan. Braden Horns up with 1 down. A's now the 2-run lead, and on the move is Ames, and he'll be in there easily.
Strong throw by the catcher, but way off the mark.
Casper had no intentions of taking home on the throw down the second. I think that was kind of Terrell's idea, was to cut it off in front in case Casper decided to go.
That could have been, yes.
1-0, the infield is coming in now for Appleton, not wanting this lead to grow any larger for Sheboygan. The pitch to Horn is outside and low, and Shep's done a nice job back there tonight.
He's had some work to do, that's for sure.
2-0 on Horn. 1 for 2 with a single today and a walk. Pitch. Hit foul and out of play onto New Jersey Avenue. 2-1 to Braden Horn. Runners on second and third. Man on second, Ames, and the runner on third is Casper. Horn hits one up the middle, base hit. Casper will score easily, and Ames is coming around. The throw in from Hanneman is not in time. And on that throw, Horn's going to second. And he's in there safely. A 2-run single for Braden Horn. Extends the lead to 4 for Sheboygan.
That was big. You know, it looked like Ames almost slowed down at third, and then all of a sudden he took off and came home, and he did score pretty easily, actually. And Horn reading the throw and did the right thing, went to second base.
That throw to second was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be originally.
Yeah,
great job by Shep.
Right.
But great job, even better job by Horn. Base running and hitting. Brings up Harry Steltz. And you all know what he's done so far today. 2 for 2 with 2 homers and a walk.
We're in the bottom of the fifth. Sheboygan now with the 4-run lead. Only a couple innings left for Appleton to try and come back. And that's the difference in the 7-inning versus 9-inning. Otherwise, you'd have 4 chances.
Definitely. And both teams have scored in all but 1 inning so far. The 4th for Appleton and the 3rd for Sheboygan. 1-1 to Harry Steltz. Oh, looks like he's trying to hit one out with that swing. 1-2. We mentioned it earlier this inning. Chenoweth was greeted to this game by a home run from Harry. One and two. That one hit deep to left center field. That's not going to be a home run, but it's going to be in the gap.
Another extra base hit for Harry.
In the score is Horn, and Harry in with a double, and he is 3 for 3 with 3 extra base hits.
7th double of the season adds to his team lead.
And he's coming up in that team lead in homers with what his output tonight. 12-7 Sheboygan, and might be the night for Chenoweth. A's have dismantled Appleton pitching so far. 12 runs on 11 hits.
Looks
and an
like
extra
number
base
24 is coming in.
And that extra base problem that we were worried about over the weekend and early on in the West Dallas game has gone forgotten.
Taking care of itself tonight with 2 doubles and 2 home runs.
What number? 24? 24. Grant Bader is the new pitcher for Appleton. It's an A.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Bill's going border. Kind of looks like an A on the sheet. Where are you going?
Bader.
Bader?
Yeah.
Easier to say.
I'm not happy with Bill. He gave that guy a hit. Should have been an error.
Grant Bader it is for Appleton, the new man on the mound. Looking to make amends for his teammates' pitching performances thus far. When Bader throws his first pitch, Harry Stell will be staying at second base, and Hadley will be the one in the box.
Chenoweth goes inning and a third only, gives up 4 hits. We're going to have to wait until the end of the inning to see if Harry scores. He only had a walk, gave up the home run, no strikeouts. And only 1 out. Let's get another run.
A's offense has struck out 1 time so far this game. The left-hander Bader to face the left-hander Hadley. Pitch is lined into right field, a base hit for Hadley. And coming around is Harry Stelton. Hadley's on his way to second base. And he'll be in there standing in an RBI double, and the lead goes to 6, 13-7 Sheboygan.
Hello, Bader.
Another pitcher greeted with an extra base hit tonight for Sheboygan.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling more comfortable now.
6 is a lot better than 1. 12 hits now for the A's. Brings up Jacob Neese.
You look at that scoreboard. Sheboygan has scored 3 in 1 inning, 4 in 1 inning, 5 in another inning.
Then
and
measly
then,
1.
and a loser inning where they got only 1.
That one line to left just fouled by Jacob. Little out in front of that one that time. 0-2 now.
Appleton beat Green Bay last night 2-1 in a walk-off win. And their pitching, Appleton's, was just outstanding that night. Not tonight.
No, especially against one of the best teams in not just Newell, but also the State League. Very impressive. And it has, like you said, not been the same in tonight's game. 1-2. It's not like they don't have the options. They have a pretty full dugout. So a majority of their players are here. Maybe the rain delay had something to do with it. Who knows? But it hasn't affected Sheboygan. 1-2 as swung on late and fouled off down the first baseline.
Crowd is really thinned out as we get late into the night. Still got a bunch of diehard fans in front of us.
The 8:30 start time might have pushed people away.
It gets late. Some people got to go to work in the morning. Not like me or Bill. Maddie, do you work in the morning? She works. Lucas?
Nope.
Nope. A little louder? What was that answer?
That one a base hit by Neese, and coming around is Hadley. The throw in from Justice cut off and still trying to throw it home, but Hadley's in there safely. 6th spot in this 5th inning for Sheboygan, 14-7.
After tonight, Sheboygan still has 2 games with Appleton, both of them on the road. Hopefully we can have the same kind of success in Appleton as we're having here at home.
Yeah, they scored 7 the first time. Played them in 14 now so far in the second time. Another lefty on lefty matchup here with Jimmy Jurgensen. That one hit to center field, but Hanneman's chased it after it and makes a great running catch to retire Jimmy.
We had a great look at it up here in the booth. That ball was tailing away from the center fielder. He had a long way to go to chase it down.
Yeah, it looked like a routine play at the start. Then all of a sudden, Hanneman had to get on his horse to get to that one.
Bradford batting for Palmquist, huh?
Yeah, and the 10th man to bat in the inning is a new batter, so it technically is the 10th man to bat in the inning. Blaine Bradford, as Marty mentioned, is the pinch hitter. One and 0, 2 outs. 14-7 the score here at Wildwood Park. The A's in front after falling behind early 3-0. They've definitely made Appleton pay. 2-0 to Bradford.
You know, I think for me, the key play in the inning was what looked like a sure double play.
Definitely.
And it wasn't made, and allowed 2 runs to score on that play, and then, you know, things have developed after that where we've scored several more runs.
Would have ended the inning.
It would have, yes.
And the A's wouldn't have even gotten 1 run. Instead, they got 6, and instead of a 1-run lead headed to the 6th inning, it's 7+.
You know, we've seen that in other games too, where there's a defensive miscue, and all of a sudden Sheboygan has been able to take advantage of that.
Yep, one situation, you can just look back a week ago to West Dallas with Jimmy Jurgensen. His grand slam could have ended the inning on an error. But instead,
Yeah, was that Tyrese Mitchell
was
that misplayed
Tyrese,
that
yeah.
ball? And he actually had a good defensive game up until that time.
that led to the Palmquist single, and then later on the grand slam to give Sheboygan the 3-run lead. As Tenney hits it foul. Tenney batter 11 in the 5th inning. Just as it felt like Appleton had gained the momentum back, Sheboygan grabbed it back ferociously. Ball in the dirt, 1-1 now on Tenney. "13 hits in the game for the A's. No errors either.
No errors. Scoreboard has Appleton with 1. I have them with 2. So you know what that means? They have 2.
Marty says goes. 1-2 to Tenney.
But Bill and I will still be friends.
Bader, the pitch to Tenney, he's foul left side again. He's trying to kill Nazy over there at third.
Wasn't Tenney the guy who broke his bat earlier in the game? It's like he's trying to break this one.
He has fouled off a couple ones sharply down that third base line. 1-2 to Nick Tenney. 2 runners on. Neese at second and Bladford at first as another one right at Nazy at third.
I like the way he plays that. He gets a good look at it, but lets it go by.
Yeah, we saw Vukovic over the weekend try to go for one of those and saw a pain in the hand as he was shaking it.
Jeff Vukovic, the manager for Lombard, is who we're talking about.
Did get ejected also over the weekend.
Yep.
As Tenney takes a call, strike 3 to finally end this 5th inning for the A's, but not before they get 6 runs and extend their lead to 7. 14-7 A's as we head to the 6th.
Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for more than yourself. You help support sustainability in all our communities.
Thank you.
Today, tomorrow, and for years to come.
Ready for the top of the 6th inning. It's still Sean Gavin out there for the 6th. His 3rd inning of work he's entering. But this time, instead of a 3-run lead coming, he's got a 7-run lead after the 6 runs the A's got in the 5th. He'll face Alex Hanneman, Nick Terrell, and Peyton Just, 2, 3, 4 in the Appleton order. Hanneman's 0 for 3 so far today. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. It's weird to score 7 runs on 10 hits and find yourself down 7 through 5 innings. But that is the situation Appleton is in right now.
We thought Zeidler had a bad start. Chenoweth had a bad relief, going an inning and a third, giving up 4 hits, 7 runs. 4 of them were earned. 1 walk, no strikeouts, and gave up the home run.
Gavin is ready to start this 6th inning. First pitch is in there for a strike. Can't imagine what the time of this game would be if it was 9 instead of 7.
Oh boy, you're right. We're right at 2 hours right now.
Just entering the top of the 6th.
We've had 7-inning games this year that went like about an hour and a half.
We had one just over this weekend against Lombard that went over 2 hours, nearly 3, because it went to extras.
Right.
To 9.
So that's not a 7-inning game, Lucas.
It was planned on a 7. Gavin got the first out on a ground out to himself, a 1-3 ground out. Brings up Nick Terrell, who's 3 for 3 with 3 singles so far, and he's come around to score all 3 times. First pitch to him is high. Pitch to Gavin is just outside, 2-0. A lot more comfortable in this 6th inning than we were in the 5th.
Oh, for sure. You know, and the way they loaded the bases with nobody out and scored a couple of runs. Then we had the tying run was thrown out at the plate.
Great job by Palmquist on that contact play Appleton was running. 2-1. That one hit in the air to left field. But under it and making the catch, the left fielder Tenney for the second out.
Tell you, we've had more trouble this year with pencils hitting the floor.
I'm telling you. It's at least 10 times I've dropped.
I think you ought to take this one. It's not a Ticonderoga, but it is a Brewers.
It is a Brewers.
With the old logo. I mean, that would look good in your collection.
It would. Bring it home, frame it.
I brought that here, so
Did you?
I'm gifting that to you.
Wow.
Another graduation gift from Mr. Martin.
Hit batsman puts Peyton just on first base. The second hit batter by A's pitching. Second one by Gavin. Pitch is swung on and missed. Heavy hack from Heitbus. He is 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch, a sac fly, and of course the home run in the first inning. The 0-1 is low and outside, evens it up at 1-1.
Gavin pitched a nice 4th inning. He allowed a hit with 2 outs. The 5th inning, he really struggled big time. And hopefully this will be a nice bounce back inning for him.
Yeah, he's
getting
got
the first 2 hitters.
He's got 2 down. That runner on first via the hit by pitch. Looking to get out of it without any damage done to the scoreboard.
Jimmy likes to do that, damage the scoreboard with his home runs.
1-2. That one on the ground. The Palmquist at short. Flips over to second in time. Tanise to retire the side. Appleton doesn't get a run. Just the 3rd tie between the teams all night. 14-7 Sheboygan as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America, found in a community where a handshake is a sure contract, brewed for those who found opportunity in challenge and hope in tomorrow, raised by generations, willing to sip, share, risk, remember. This is a story bigger than beer. This is the story of the American spirit.
All right, guys, we got teriyaki, honey barbecue, and mild. Enjoy. All right, DOA wings, hottest on the menu.
You got a problem?
Back for the bottom of the sixth inning, another new man on the mound for Appleton. Jackson Spedgner will be the fourth man to pitch for Appleton today. Looking to find more success than the first three. He'll face 9, 1, and 2, Casper, Ames, and Horn. Looks like Kaylee's got a helmet on, could be pinch hitting for Alex Ames.
Bader goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 2 hits and a run. It is earned. Got a walk and a strikeout.
Hanselman returning to that first base coach. He's been there almost the entire game.
Done a good job staying loose, waving all the runners around.
The A's shut him down, or if they score 3 runs, technically the game would be over. But
yeah, I wonder. Be the 10-run rule, you're right.
But if not, they can finish off Appleton in the top of the 7th. Yep. Kaylee's also was back there. First pitch taken by Casper, 1-0. He is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. That's a heavy hack there, and it comes up empty, 1-1.
Cal's had a nice game tonight. Kolakowski made him work pretty hard those first couple innings.
And the play's done a nice job as well with the bat. And another heavy swing and a miss, 1-2. It's been a game of offense, 21 runs and 23 hits between the two squads. Casper hits on the ground. Booker fields the slow roller and flips over to Spedgner for the first out. Jason Sims, the pinch hitter for Alex Ames, is up. Sims not off to the greatest starts in 2025, looking to improve that in this at-bat.
Yeah, it's seen limited action. It's part of the problem. Hard to get in the groove.
Pitch, called strike on that outside part of the plate for Spedgner. 0-1. Pitch is low to Sims. 1-1. 1 down after Cal Casper grounded out to Booker over at first. Sims takes a strike, 1-2.
After that 2 runs in the top of the 5th, Sheboygan really put the game away with that 6-run inning.
Sims a base hits in the left field.
That'll help the old BA.
Definitely. Carter Kaylee, the pinch hitter now for Braden Horn. Tim Moyer going to the bench in this 6th inning. Hudson Wagner also on deck for Harry Stelt, so that 3-home run game will not happen tonight.
Bummer.
It is too bad. First pitch to Kaylee is taken high. That's hit for Sims, number 2 on the year.
Kaylee right near the top. He's hitting .474, but in very limited action. That's why Harry is given the team lead.
Yeah, not enough at bats to qualify for that team lead. But he's been really good, like Mario's saying, in his time that he's seen. He did start a game against Lombard. Pitch, hit foul off the netting. 1-2.
Carter, only 18 years old, from Suamico, Wisconsin, going to UW lacrosse. I know you've mentioned that before. Smart kid.
He's a smart guy to go to lacrosse.
Yeah. Now. He didn't have to back when I was there.
Pitch way inside on Kaylee, nearly hits him, but it evens the count up at 2-2.
It was not open enrollment, no, Bill.
Hear a pin drop in this.
Oh,
Kaylee,
but you could hear a pitch on the back.
Kaylee spikes his elbow guard in pain as he'll walk his way over to first.
Sounded like it may have hit his hip bone.
That woke everyone up.
So much for the pin drop, Lucas.
Marty was saying a couple innings ago the crowd have thinned out. I think it's thinned out even a little more since then. A few diehards waiting to see the final result of this game.
Had about 6 people right in front of us go home, and that thinned the crowd out pretty much.
It took about a fourth of them. Hudson Wagner, the batter, pitch nearly hit him. He had to duck out of the way.
Another wild pitch by the legend pitchers.
Retired the first man, Casper, but giving up a single and then a hit by pitch. 1-0 to Wagner. Is that one sounded like a broken bat?
Yeah, number 2 of the ball game for Sheboygan.
Fouled that one off. Another one that does not die a hero.
Nope. They used to have a bat graveyard, Lucas, out in the far left field corner where the outfield fence swings around and where the railing is there. Right in that corner, they had a whole bunch of bats pounded in there.
Did you add any to that pile ever?
No.
No.
Well, I ended my career before this park was built.
I didn't know if they kept moving them over. Did you ever have it at where you played before?
They didn't do that there, no.
Wagner takes a heavy swing and a miss, 1-2.
When I played, they didn't do baseball golf. They didn't bury their bats.
No fun.
What they did when they broke their bat was they took it home and put a screw in and used it some more.
1-2 to Wagner. Swing and a miss, but he's going to be able to take first base as Shep won't be able to turn him, and another run scores on a strikeout. But no out recorded. Okay, you don't see many times a strikeout and reach base. Spechner's been a little wild around the plates. It's tough for Shep to pick him up.
Yeah, Wagner will get credit for a strikeout on the play, but he does reach first on the pass ball, which also allows the man on third, Sims, to score.
Ty Witek, the man with the lowest ERA in that A's pitching staff, is up.
And he's a catcher by trade.
Pitched a scoreless inning against Lombard on Saturday. Oh, 1 to him. Man, that third and first, Abby Hack and a miss. Goes to Concordia, Wisconsin, along with fellow catcher Connor Lash, who's not in the lineup tonight. Pitch to Witek is taken outside. Witek was the one that got robbed in center field by Worrell.
Oh, that's right.
On Saturday, Sunday.
He really hit that. He squared it up really well. Tough break.
1-2 now to the A's pinch hitter Ty Wytek fouled back at the plate. Count remains 1-2.
Wagner represents the winning run if you're going after the 10-run rule.
Still just the one out, so definitely within reach for Sheboygan. Could walk this game off. Pitch is outside. Spezner really making Shep work back there.
Wytek hitting 250. He had his average way up there for
Yeah.
a little bit. He was up over 300.
Hasn't seen that consistent playing time. Sometimes can cause the average to dip a little. 2-2, swung on and missed by Wytek, and a strikeout for Spezner. Back to back.
Nolan Sand.
Nolan Sand, the hitter for Sheboygan. From Two Rivers, Wisconsin, also a Concordia University member, and he takes that one outside. 1-0. Sand has seen limited action, does not have a hit yet in just a few at-bats. Pitch is hit on the ground slowly. Spezner cannot make the play, and the throw gets past the first baseman, Booker. Rounding third and stopping there as that throw is high, but
wow.
Backing up is Terrell at short. Not enough out of the way for Hudson Wagner to take home, but it is now 16-7. Base hit for Sand, his first on the year. Brings up Jimmy Jurgensen.
Jimmy, one of the few players that's starters that are staying in the game.
Sand is now hitting 500. 2 at-bats.
Wow. Have a night. Have a season.
Brings up Jamie Jurgensen. 2 down. Takes that pitch in there for a strike.
Press box is generally rooting for Jimmy to get a base hit, but not just to up his average, but to get out of here. Be a 10-run rule.
0-1 to him. Jimmy pops one up. Just missed that one. Hanneman there in center field to retire the side. The A's couldn't quite get to 10, but their lead is extended to 9 as it's now 16-7 Sheboygan as we head to the 7th.
The estimated hold time is now less than 96 minutes. We thank you for your patience.
Sorry, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, please hold.
I gave him an error.
Back for the
You
top
gave
of
him a
the
hit.
7th inning. Michelangelo Granella is looking to close out this 7-inning ball game. The A's have scored in 5 of their 6 innings, just that 1-0 coming in the 3rd, but 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and then, of course, the 0, then 1, 6, 2 in the next 3 innings. Granella will face Blake Wallenfang, the 6-hole hitter, followed by Keon Booker and Ian Plaster, 6, 7, 8, due up for Appleton. A game that was once just a 1-run game going into the 5th has now expanded out to 9 as we head to the 7th. First pitch from Granella is outside.
Based on the way things have played out, the starter, Theo Seidler, will get the loss for Appleton, and Gavin should get the win.
That one popped up in the shallow right field. Second baseman Sand is there to make the catch. Brings up Keon Booker. First baseman tonight. He is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a walk.
Sean Gavin in line for the win. And Sheboygan will move to 7-2 in the league.
Hit on the ground to Sand as well, and the second out. Recorded on the throw over to Ty Whitek at first. Appleton down to their last out, and they need to score 9 runs if they want to keep this game alive.
Bet on that, Lucas.
Offense has not been the problem for Appleton so far. They have 7 runs on 10 hits, but Sheboygan is more than doubled them up. 16 runs on 14 hits, including a run on a strikeout. 0-1 to Plaster is taking low 1-1.
We don't want to forget about the defense too. No errors committed by the boys tonight.
Definitely been a really solid game by the A's. 1-1. Hit foul and out of play right side.
Kudos to the fans who stuck around for the entire ball game.
Even with the late start.
Late start, yeah.
Pretty solid showing at the start of the game at least, but obviously as it's past 11 o'clock, don't blame some of the fans with the game already pretty much in hand. 1-2 now, down to the final strike for Appleton. Ian Plaster looking to keep this game alive. Grinnell looking to finish it. Pitch nearly hits him. Ian's count up at 2-2.
Did you give any numbers on Granella?
Yeah, nothing. In 2 2/3 innings.
Yeah, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's been
no,
good.
No hits either. Just outside. Steinke wants to stay around a little longer.
He wants to earn his money.
Full count now from Granella to Plaster.
We're only going to play 7, but it seems like a 9-inning game.
The pitch. Swung on and missed, and Granella finishes it with a 3-up, 3-down inning, and Sheboygan wins 16-7, as Marty was mentioned earlier, pushing their Newable record to 7-2. Overall, 18-11, and extending that first place lead in the Newable standings. Any last thoughts, Marty?
It was nice to get the offense, or keep the offense going. Harry with his 2 home runs and 5 RBIs extends his team lead, and he gets my player of the game.
Definitely. The A's next ball game, or next broadcast, I should say, will be July 10th, a long break, 8-day break, excuse me. And they'll be playing Denmark at home, followed by a Green Bay makeup on the 11th. Then Hall of Fame induction day on the 12th for the players' side at least. But until then, for the future Hall of Famer Mike Martin, I'm Lucas Scholze. We'll see you next time.